Hello everybody, and how's YouTube doing today? Helen the Russian here, and the new Uber driver app is here. I haven't been driving this week at all. I just drove for a bit yesterday, so that was the first time I actually seen it. It popped up, and well, few things. I start by saying I don't hate it, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, so I didn't hate it straight away. It was a bit of a shocker because it's all different setup, and they do that quick walkthrough, but it doesn't tell you important things in that walkthrough. You kind of figure it out as you go, but that's like everything else. So few things that I noticed. Some are better, some are worse, but and again, this is not gospel truth. That's my personal subjective opinion. Other people might feel differently about it. Anyhow, so they were talking about how this gonna be just a push button and go, which that's true, that's how you go online. But then when it's time to finish the ride, you still have to swipe to drop off and then to rate the passenger. And I don't know if it's just me, but all the ratings, they come up with 5 stars already filled in, like there are 5 yellow stars. I don't know how you make it lower stars. I don't particularly care. I haven't been bothering with that for months and months. I just give them 5 and off we go. That started long time ago, but anyhow, that's that. Now what I didn't particularly care for is the fact that now when you have to have a quick look as to where exactly the passenger is to be picked up, like specific landmark or address, it now takes 2 taps. It used to be, remember how you pushed in the top right corner and straight away it gave you that window and it told you where the passenger is? Well, now you have to push that thing here and then push another thing and then it'll tell you. So it took me a few tries to figure that one out, and we all know who's drove it for a while, you need to know that, because oftentimes, like say the ride request came in, and it doesn't always show where the passenger is. It just gives you the request and how many minutes to the request. So you accept it, and then it goes straight into navigation, which sometimes Uber gives you really weird navigation. That's not the shortest way, not the best way. So you always, like in my case, maybe not everybody, but I always want to know exactly where the passenger is. I can figure out how to get there in most cases myself. And sometimes it coincides with Uber navigation, and oftentimes it doesn't, because it'll tell you to go, because I guess it doesn't know little service ways or driveways or shortcuts or whatnot. Very good example of what I'm talking about for those of you who live in Las Vegas. Like say for instance, you ride by Macy's entrance facing Spring Mountain Road at the Fashion Show Mall, and the request comes and it shows that they standing by Forever 21 entrance where valet is. Well, Uber will tell you to go around. You don't need to. You just jump into the garage and boom, you're on the other side. You're gonna briefly lose the signal, but you know where you're going. You're gonna gain the signal right back in when you get out of the garage. So that's one example, and it saves a lot of time. That's few good minutes. And as you remember, we don't get paid to go to the pickup, so yeah, that's a big deal. So anyhow, now it takes 2 taps. I figure out how to do it, so that's that. The one they were so proud of is like, oh, it shows your earnings right there on the top. Well, whoopity-doo. When you're on trip, you still can't see them, just like you couldn't see them before when you're on trip. The trip has to be finished. You have to be in between the trips or logged off to see it. And before you just lifted the bottom bar to see it, now you see it right there. Yeah, tomato. Honestly, I don't know why they were so hyped up about it. It didn't make any difference to me, quite frankly. But okay, it's not a bad thing or good thing. It's just, to me, it's nothing changed. Now, as before, Uber navigation still puts you at the back of destinations. Okay, I was hoping they'll fix it, but now I'm beginning to think it's unfixable. They genuinely want to, but there are certain things when you write the original code, yeah, it is what it is, because they seem to change the whole app, and it's still, I think it had to do with how they initially did the navigation, how they set up the mapping. They can no longer change it, or no longer willing to, because it's too expensive to redo that. So we still have to be careful with ending up at the back of destinations. And I think there might be, now I'm speculating here, but there might be the reason why they introduced that cool feature for the riders, show the actual location, sharing the physical location in real time, because that kind of helps. I like that feature. I talked about it before. That was the best feature they came up with, because you can see where the person actually is versus where they dropped the pin, which in Las Vegas could be different places, like really different places. The key is to the passengers who is listening to this, if any of you do, you need to use the feature for us to be able to see. If you don't use the feature, it's useless. We can't see it still. But you know, that feature is still there. That's working. I did like that one. Now the new one that's added to this, the new app, I kind of liked. Two-prong here. So you know how now you, in between the trips, it actually, there is a line going back and forth on the bottom, finding trips for you or matching you with trips. So it shows you, like it was doing it before in the back, obviously in the background. Obviously app is, if you're online and driving, app is searching for trips for you, but now it tells you that it's hard at work searching. Okay, well I guess some people needed that reassurance. Fine. Also, it does tricky things. I noticed that straight away, because I opted out of food delivery a long time ago. I made a video about it. It wasn't worth it in Las Vegas, and I'm still out of food delivery. Well, what it done yesterday, I did a trip, I think after the first trip, and or maybe after the second, and I'm driving and it says, you know, searching for trips, and those who listen to me, they know where I was going. Yep, I was going right into the Mirage, North Valley, because I always end up, pretty much always, I end up with the ride either there or at Treasure Island. So I was on my way there, where it says I already entered Mel Torme, passing the entrance to the garage to Treasure Island. When it goes, can't find matching trips with your stated preference, adjust your preferences. So they wanted me to take food trips, and I knew why. Like Friday night in Las Vegas, in the middle of the strip, yeah, I'm sure they had a lot of food trips that no one wanted to take. Well, I didn't bite. I just kept my preferences, and sure enough, I mean, not even 5 seconds later, ping, I get the ride request at the Mirage North Valley. Yeah, that was expected. So that's a bit insidious, because they're making you believe they can't find you, especially for those who are new drivers. Yeah, they're making you believe, oh, you know, they can't find any trips for you. You need to add that food delivery to make it. Yeah, you don't. You know, might depending where you add. Like Friday night in Las Vegas, no, I knew I was fine. So that's that. But also now going to the good part. I only did 6 trips yesterday, but after 5 of them, once I dropped the passenger off on the app, on the bottom there was a message going something to the effect that there is a busy area, and it offered me an option to go there. And I thought, well, let's just, you know, like I said, I was pretty chilled yesterday. I was like, yeah, let's give it a go. So I would click on that, and it would start navigate me to whatever they deem to be busy area. Now mind, I looked, and it wasn't surging at the time on the strip, so it's not like I was going to give up the surge and go to wherever they're sending me. But they were sending me in the general direction of the strip, so it's not like they wanted me to go far away. And almost immediately, in all of those cases that I clicked on that and started following that, within a minute I got a ride request from places not far away. It was very short pickup, but not where I would go. And I'll tell you, for those of you who live in Las Vegas, I'll tell you what I mean. I dropped off at those nasty budget suites on Trop and I-15, you know, the ones full of, you know, whom. That was someone from the Venetian that wanted to go there. So as soon as I dropped that person off, that thing popped up going, you know, there is high amount of requests in this area, go there, like it's asking. I said, okay, let's go. And so it told me to go on Trop, moving east, so back towards the strip, which I've done. But almost immediately, as soon as I got on Trop, it gave me a ride request on that Hilton Garden Inn on Dean Martin. See, I would have never turned into Dean Martin at all. I would have continued to the strip. I would probably gone to Koval and started driving, you know, behind MGM, going that way, hoping to pick up a ride in there. So that's a good example, and that worked out like that few times. These people from Gardening, they were going way on West Sahara. So on the way back, it did the same thing, offered that. And as I started driving, boom, there is a ride right there, which ultimately took me, believe it or not, you're gonna laugh, to the budget suites right next to the nasty budget suites. So the ones that are a little west, they are almost next to each other. But ultimately, that's where I wanted to go, because actually I was gonna go home right after that. So yeah, I was on my way home, it all worked out. I was right by I-15, hop on I-15, got back to Green Valley, done. So if that feature, now mind, it's a busy Friday night, so it could have been a coincidence, but if it's not, that's a good feature. Yeah, that's cool. I'll follow if they're telling you honestly, look, there are ride requests in this area like higher than normal, there are not enough drivers, go there and you'll get a ride. Yeah, good, productive, works for everybody. So was happy with that. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how they did the whole thing. It seems like you need to, in some cases, you need to push more buttons than before to get to certain things. Like we all want to look at certain things more than others, and it's all different things for everybody. But like I said, that knowing where to pick up and where to drop off the actual landmark, and still, that started a while back. They stopped giving the landmark. They give the number and the street in the app, but not the landmark, and I really hate it. You know what I mean? Like 2655 Las Vegas Boulevard South tells me absolutely nothing. Does it tell anything to you? Well, it's Hilton Grand Vacation. I much rather have Hilton Grand Vacation and then the address. You know, that would make more sense. But anyhow, it is what it is. Once again, don't hate it. Only done 6 trips on it. Maybe I will hate it later, but so far it's okay, and that's one cool feature. Kind of gave me hope. But apart from that, everything else, it's not like it gotten really bad or much better in my opinion. It's about the same, you know. I wish they would fix the back of the destination thing, but you know, I guess we're gonna have to take what we can at this stage. Alright, hopefully everybody have a fantastic weekend. Go make lots of money. I won't be driving this weekend. I'm busy with a couple of projects which I need to get done for my main business. But we'll see how it all progresses with the new app. Take care everybody and stay safe out there.